Hey guys, how's it going? It's Rob. Hope you're doing good. So today's video idea was actually a suggestion by one of my viewers because recently I did a comparison video between this Gibson Les Paul guitar and my Gibson SG guitar. I just did a comparison on the tones, on the different pickups, and I kept everything the same. The EQs, the amp simulator that I used, all the settings were exactly the same between this guitar and the Les Paul. You'd expect the tone to be vastly different. I mean, it is different, don't get me wrong, but it's not that different unless you're really used to listening to these differences. But a lot of people said that the SG had more of a bite and the Les Paul had more of a warmer sound, which you'd expect because the Les Paul's got a lot thicker body. And in my experience, thicker bodies on guitars generally make the guitars sound a little bit warmer. But that's not to say that the SG isn't capable of creating some nice warm sounds. But anyway, the suggestion for today's video was to compare my Gibson SG with my Fender Strat guitar, which I thought was a pretty good idea because I've said before that I love Fender Stratocasters, and I've had this guitar for a very long time, and this is my main guitar. I use this one a lot, especially live gigging. So I've had this one for years. This is actually a 90s model Mexican Strat, and I've only recently got the SG. I say recently, it was back end of last year, but that still feels fairly recent to me. But I do have a massive preference to Strats in general on guitars. They're my favourite style of guitar. I prefer them over Telecasters, I prefer them over Les Pauls and things like that. And I said before, when I first got this guitar, I did a review of it, and I said in that video that the reason I wanted an SG and why I like SGs as well is because for me, in terms of Gibson guitars, they are quite Strat-like, just in terms of the double cutaway and the very thin bodies. For me, that's what I like in guitars. Strats have double cutaways and thin bodies, so do SGs, so that's why I've kind of got these guitars. They sound pretty different. There's a lot of difference between these guitars, not just in sound, but in feel, obviously. And one of the biggest differences that I noticed was when I use these guitars live, because I play in a wedding band, in a functions band, playing events and parties, and obviously weddings and things like that. And I've been using the Stratocaster for a very long time, and I'm used to how my amp settings were for the Stratocaster, and then when I got this guitar, I had all my amp settings like they were for the Strat, and it just sounded monstrous in comparison. This guitar is a lot louder. So the first thing I did when I started using this guitar live was I had to turn everything down and mess about with the volume on the actual guitar more, because the output is far greater than the Strat and far greater than what I was used to. So that's been a bit of a learning curve. But what I thought I'd do today is I thought I would compare the SG with the Stratocaster and just again use everything the same amp settings, the same EQs, everything that I do for one I'm going to do for the other, and just play about on the different pickups on a clean tone and just compare how they sound. So I'm going to use a clean tone first, and the reason I'm going to use a clean tone is because I feel that when you've got a clean tone, it really shows off how that guitar sounds and the characteristics of the pickups and the wood and all the things that you want to hear from a guitar come out more in a clean tone. Whereas if you start muddying it up with loads of gain and effects and things like that, all the things that you're listening for kind of just get lost and things start sounding quite samey and hard to differentiate between the different sounds and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep it clean at first, play on the different pickups, but then I will also add more gain later on and play both guitars over a backing track with a bit of gain, a backing track that I've made. And another thing that I'm going to do is, obviously the SG only has a 3-way toggle switch, so it's either got bridge position, mid position or neck position. Obviously the Stratocaster has a 5-way switch, so that's got 5 different positions. So what I figured I'd do just to make it a bit more fair is even though this has got a 3-way switch, I'm going to pretend like the Strat only has 3 positions, and I'm going to play the Strat on the bridge, the mid position and the neck position. I'm going to ignore the 2nd and 4th position on the Strat, even though 4th position pickup on a Strat is definitely my favourite tone. If you know, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So if you're interested to hear the difference of a Stratocaster and a Gibson SG, then stick around and let's find out. I'm just going to say that both of these guitars are stock, haven't changed anything on them, haven't changed any pickups or done anything to alter them. They're both stock guitars. So a stock Mexican Stratocaster with stock pickups and a stock Gibson SG. How do they sound? How do they compare? Let's find out. Okay, so here we are with my Fender. And as you can see, I'm on the bridge position. I'm going to start at bridge and work my way up. As I said, on the Stratocaster, I'm only going to use the bridge position, the mid position, and the neck position. And also I want to quickly say that before filming this video, this guitar and the SG have both had brand new strings put on, so they're extra fresh. Just so there's no unfair advantage on a guitar that's got newer strings than the other. They're both equal newness. So let's get into it. So this is the Fender on the bridge pickup. So there you go, there's the Stratocaster and the SG on both the bridge, mid position and neck position pickups. But now let's check out how both of these guitars sound with a little bit more gain. I'm going to use all three positions again on all the pickups. I'm going to play over a backing track that I've made, so let's check that out now. And again, I'm going to use the same amp sounds and EQ and everything for both guitars, so everything's going to be exactly the same. The only difference is going to be the guitars. So let's check out how that sounds now. So there you go, there's a nice little comparison between a Gibson SG and a Fender Stratocaster. So thanks very much for the suggestion of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Hope you enjoyed finding out how they both sound and how they both compare. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer and why. I'm not going to pick one. I like both of them for different things, for different reasons. So I'm glad that I have both of these guitars. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe whilst you're at it. And if anybody else has got any cool ideas or videos that they'd like me to make, then definitely leave me a comment below, because sometimes it's pretty hard to think of ideas to do. Ultimately, I want to make videos that you guys want to watch. So if you have an idea, you have something that you want me to do or something you want me to try, then let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to do it. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please click up here to see another one, over here to subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will see you in my next video.